She begins with silence. A childhood tucked into corners, her voice never quite finding the right speed for the world around her. She doesn't thrive in classrooms or parties or playgrounds. Instead, she finds something else in the brush. Small paws in the snow, broken things that tremble but don't speak. They never expect too much. They don't punish quiet. Mikayla Raines is 15 the first time she rescues something. It's a squirrel, half crushed, barely breathing. She doesn't hesitate. And even though the animal dies within a day, she never forgets the feeling that her calm, her slowness, her softness could be a refuge for something afraid. It doesn't feel like weakness, feels like purpose. She learns everything she can about wildlife rehab. Learns how to tape a wing, how to set a bone, how to feed something too afraid to take food from human hands. No one's watching yet. It's just her and the animals. The silence is still hers. By her early 20s, she stumbles into foxes. Not the wild kind. The bred kind, the caged kind. Leftovers from the fur trade. Born to be worn, not loved. She finds them through back channels abandoned breeders. Fur farms gone bankrupt. Animals considered too docile or disfigured to kill. She takes them in. Not for money, not for views. Because she can't not. She gives them names like Finnegan and Dixie. Lets them scream and laugh and climb on her back. Builds a world in rural Minnesota where no one has to be useful to be safe. She names it Save. A fox. The videos begin almost by accident. Clips of a fox stealing her sock. A slow motion run through snow. A chaotic feeding time. She speaks softly in the almost hesitant, her voice trailing off, untrained for performance. But it doesn't matter. The world responds. The channel grows. She's not flashy. She doesn't edit much. There's no catchphrases, no merch drops. Just Mikayla, foxes, and the occasional raccoon. Her following swells into millions. They come for the animals. They stay for her quiet steadiness. She becomes the internet's fox girl. But even at the height of it, there's something under the surface. In her eyes, in the way she rarely shows her face for too long. In how often she films at dawn or dusk, those liminal hours when the rest of the world is still asleep. She never says she's tired. She never says she's scared. But the pauses between her sentences grow longer. Her voice, softer. She is autistic, diagnosed young. Later comes borderline personality disorder, emotions that sear instead of simmer. Thoughts that spiral, feelings that don't fade. She tells no one at first, not publicly. She's already been accused of being robotic, flat, strange. She builds the den higher, keeps the soft parts hidden, lets the foxes speak for her, but nothing online stays untouched. The first rumors are small, almost laughable. She hoards animals. She doesn't clean their cages. She sells them, all untrue, easily debunked. But still, they echo. A TikTok claims her sanctuary isn't licensed. It is. A Reddit thread says her foxes are in pain. They're not. But these lies move faster than her truth. Screenshots with no context. Grainy photos from strange angles. Comments about her weight, her clothes, her slow speech. At first, she ignores it. Then she tries explaining. But every answer becomes another weapon. If she defends herself, she's hiding something. If she stays silent, she's guilty. So, she retreats, not from the animals, never from them, but from people, from allies. From the crowd. By 2023, something shifts. Not in her work. The animals are still fed, still safe, still cared for. But the joy changes. The light in her face when she films with Dixie flickers. Her videos become less frequent. She stops live streaming. She starts posting photos instead, still moments. No sound, no chance to be misheard. She smiles in those photos. But it's a tired smile, a careful one. People notice. They comment, "You okay, girl? You look pale. You don't post like you used to." She doesn't answer. In the background, the whisper network grows. Not just trolls now, but other rescue accounts, former volunteers, minor creators with major grudges. Some say she's mentally unstable. Some call her a liability. Some just want to be part of something. And still no one close to her speaks up. Not loudly, not publicly, but in time. The silence that once protected her begins to feel like a trap. She starts hinting at the pain. Small things. A story posted and quickly deleted. A caption that reads, "I wish I could talk about what I'm really going through." A fox's paw resting on her chest in a photo with the words, "They help me breathe." Her followers miss the signs. Or maybe they don't want to believe. Them because Mikayla Raines is the fox girl. The rescuer. The one who smiles through it all, because she must be okay. But she isn't. Not really. Not anymore. And though no one can see it, the den is starting to crack. The cracks aren't loud. They don't show up in headlines or scandal threads. They creep in quietly, the way frost slips beneath the door at night. It starts with a single post, an anonymous thread on Reddit claiming that Mikayla has been emotionally manipulative to her volunteers. No proof, no names, just the seed of suspicion. And in an online world primed to distrust anyone with a platform, that seed sprouts fast. New accounts start posting. Some say they were former staffers. Some say they were fox donors. Each one adds fuel. She's not feeding them properly. She uses donations for vacations. I saw her hit a fox once. Lies, obvious lies, if you knew her. But most people didn't. Even worse, many people didn't want the truth. They wanted the drama. What once was a space for fox videos and sanctuary updates becomes a minefield. Mikayla's name trends on forums not because of her rescues, but because someone claims they heard something about her. No one checks. No one slows down. They just echo the noise. The accusations shift tone. They get darker, crueler. They attack her mental health, clearly unstable. She shouldn't be near animals. Some dig into her past, pulling up photos of her from before Save a Fox, trying to reframe them as evidence. Of what? They don't know. It doesn't matter. People begin demanding she prove her innocence. Show her financial records. Show her vet reports. Show herself. She doesn't, because she knows better. There's no winning that game. The more she tries to explain, the deeper the hole becomes. So she does the only thing left to her. She pulls back. Fewer uploads, less speaking, more fox content, less of herself. But even that isn't safe anymore. Some people begin claiming the foxes look unhappy. One video of Finnegan chewing on wood sparks a thread accusing her of neglect. They say she doesn't stimulate them enough, that her enclosure is too small. Never mind the fact that most of her animals were bred in cages the size of dishwashers. Never mind that they'd be dead without her. Even her joy becomes suspect. In one video, she laughs, san unfiltered, loud, joyful sound, and someone screen records it, mocking her voice. She sounds crazy. The top comment reads, "It gets hundreds of upvotes." The same day, she deletes the video. She doesn't say why. She never does. But something is clearly changing. Her once bright tone dulls. Her face appears less. When she does show herself, there's a heaviness around her eyes, less sleep, more shadows. Her animals still love her. You can see it in how they curl around her ankles. But she no longer seems to believe that humans can. Even people inside. The rescue world begin to turn. Competing organizations, maybe jealous of her reach, begin to hint at her ethical gray areas. Nothing direct, just vague posts, coded language, subtle digs that make it clear who they mean without ever saying her name. It works. Some of her own fans start to doubt. They ask questions, then they leave. And still she keeps rescuing, even as her donations drop, even as comments pile up, calling her a fraud. Even as influencers make entire videos dissecting her behavior like it's entertainment. She keeps building, keeps feeding, keeps waking up before dawn to clean out enclosures, to treat mange, to cuddle animals that have never known a kind hand. But it's wearing her down behind the scenes. Ethan, her husband, sees it. The nights when she sobs without words. The mornings where she stares at the wall, unmoving. The panic attacks that come when her phone buzzes. He tells her to log off. She says she can't. The foxes need her. The audience needs her. If she disappears, they'll say she's guilty. He tries to shield her, tries to respond to some of the messages. But there are too many. They never stop. There's one thread, a particularly vile one, that claims she fakes her mental illness for attention, that she's using suicidal language as manipulation, that she's narcissistic. A user posts screenshots they claim are from private DMs with her. They're fake, clearly fake, but they go viral. Mikayla never addresses it. Instead, she posts a photo of Finnegan curled in her lap. The caption simply says, "Some days, I wish I could be as free as they are." It gets thousands of likes, and still, the comments come. She's playing the victim. This is just to distract us from what she's hiding. Nice gaslighting, Fox girl. Someone tags her rescue sponsors, demands they drop her. Some do. Ethan begs her to take a break, to shut the internet off, to let someone else post for her. But she can't. She says if she stops, they'll win. They'll say she ran, that she's guilty, that she never loved the animals. He tells her none of that matters, that what matters is her. She smiles, but it's hollow. Around this time, she starts talking less, even to him. The silence is different now. Not protective, not peaceful. It's heavy. Distant. Her sanctuary has always been a quiet place, but now the quiet feels like retreat, like surrender. She writes notes, short ones, mostly to herself. He finds one, folded into her coat pocket. It says, "They think I'm something I'm not. But if I defend myself, I'm exactly what they say." He doesn't tell her he found it. He doesn't know what to say. And outside their little house, the world just keeps spinning. Reddit threads keep posting. TikTok accounts keep speculating. Comments keep flooding her inbox. No one knows how close the edge is. No one stops. The morning of June 20th is quiet. Too quiet. No videos. No photos. No stories of foxes curled in sunlight or scampering over fences. Just stillness. Ethan notices at first the silence that isn't usual. Mikayla always greets the animals first. Even before breakfast, she talks to them, checks their water, crouches down to let them sniff her hands. But this morning, the enclosures are calm. There's no sound of her boots on gravel, no door swinging open. He calls her name once, then again. No answer. When he finds her, time distorts. Reality slips sideways. His voice catches in his throat. Her body is still warm. He begins CPR, counting out the beats like a prayer. 15 minutes. No response. The ambulance comes too late. At the hospital, the words land like lead. Official, cold, final. Mikayla Raines is gone. The staff whisper condolences. They know who she is. The girl with the foxes. They've seen her online. She always seemed gentle, kind, unbreakable. That last word turns to ash. Ethan can't speak at first. His hands tremble. He sits in silence, replaying everything she didn't say, the warning signs, the exhaustion, the way she started staring out the window more, then looking at him, the last time she laughed. Was it even real? Later, he finds her final note, scrawled on paper in handwriting that shakes at the end. Please forgive me. The noise is louder than I can carry. I just wanted to save them. I'm sorry I couldn't save myself. Kay reads it once, then again, then burns it. Not because he's angry, but because it's too heavy to keep. The news breaks slowly. At first, it's a ripple of few confused posts, comments under her last photo. Then, a wave. Ethan confirms it on Save a Fox's official page. Mikayla took her own life. She was in pain. Please give us space to grieve. The internet reacts. Shock, mourning, disbelief. But not everyone is kind. Some accuse him of lying. Others of orchestrating a cover-up. Some demand proof, screenshots, death certificates. An explanation they feel entitled to. People who never met her, never helped her, now shouting into the digital void. She can't be dead. She was just online yesterday, as if that meant she was okay. Others dash quieter, but crueler say she deserved it, that she was manipulative, that her silence in the face of accusations was proof of guilt. The same lies that dogged her living now drag her name in death. Ethan watches it unfold in horror. The same forums that mocked her grief now dissect her suicide. They use her mental illness as a punchline. They repost her old videos with captions like "We always knew something was off." Reddit threads explode. Some get locked. Others don't. TikTokers rush to make tribute videos, overlaying her crying face with moody music while inserting their own voiceovers. One influencer claims they always suspected something dark behind the scenes. Another suggests she faked her death for attention. The silence Mikayla left is filled with noise she tried so hard to escape. But not everyone is cruel. Her supporters rally. They flood Save a Fox with messages of love. Donations spike. Volunteers come forward. Candlelight vigil is held outside the sanctuary. Foxes asleep in their dens as hundreds gather under a violet sky. They read her words. They hold photos. They cry not the quick, performative tears of strangers, but the quiet kind. The kind that comes when something good has been lost. One little girl leaves, a stuffed fox by the gate with a note. Thank you for saving them. I hope you're safe now too. Ethan doesn't speak to the press for weeks. When he does, his voice cracks. She was the strongest person I knew, but the internet kept telling her she was weak. Every day, 4 years. And in the end, it drowned out everything else. He says she'd wake up in the middle of the night, checking her phone, scanning comments, eyes wide with panic. That she started recording videos and deleting them before uploading. That she'd sometimes hold a fox close and whisper, "They trust me. At least they still trust me." He says the hardest part isn't the loss. It's knowing how many people saw her pain and looked away. Calls grow louder for accountability. Reddit is pressured to remove the most toxic threads. Some disappear, others simply shift names, continue elsewhere. TikTok creators who spread lies lock their accounts. Some apologize. Most don't. A campaign begins in her name. Silence is not safe. It advocates for stronger protections for mental health content creators, especially in animal welfare spaces, where burnout is high and public scrutiny is relentless. Save a Fox continues. Ethan steps up. Volunteers take over daily care. The foxes still play. They still scream. They still curl into soft red piles under the trees. But something's changed. Their keeper is gone. The sanctuary becomes both a refuge and a memorial. A plaque is mounted near the main enclosure. For Mikayla, who taught us that even the smallest voice can save a life. And for a time, the internet quiets. But the lesson remains. That kindness cannot compete with cruelty when silence wins. that clicks can kill. That mobs don't need pitchforks anymore. Just usernames and a thirst for doubt. Mikayla Raines never shouted, never fought back with rage. She carried her pain the same way she carried wounded animals, gently, close to the chest, hoping it would heal if she just held on long enough. But even the kindest souls break when no one listens. She didn't need millions of followers. She needed a moment of grace. She needed anyone to say, "I believe you. I see you. You don't have to carry it alone." We say it too late. Let her silence speak louder than our noise. Let it remind us what it cost her to stay kind in a world that made cruelty so easy. Let it change us. Let it matter.